Hi, my name is Maureen Rush-Bogutz, and I am the counselor that has been assigned to you in your FYE 101 class. I want to say hello and introduce myself and welcome you to CCP in college. It's a wonderful place. I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking to you today about what counselors do, and then to talk to you about your assignment, your career exploration assignment in FYE 101. So briefly, there are roughly 25 counselors here on the main campus. We also have a presence in the regional centers. We have counselors at the West Philadelphia Regional Center, the Northwest and Northeast. What we do is we offer academic counseling, help with things like study skills and time management. We do a lot of career counseling, helping students explore career options, helping you look at different majors and how they might connect with different careers and jobs. If you're undecided, we offer career assessments to help you explore. You're going to actually be doing an assessment in your FYE 101 class. It's called Focus 2. We also do a lot of transfer counseling and helping students figure out how to get from CCP to a four-year school. We have lots and lots of resources we can introduce you to, and it's our goal to really help you achieve your goal. You're going to also be meeting academic advisors, and students often ask, what's the difference between an advisor and a counselor? And in a nutshell, counselors are trained in psychology and counseling. We have our degrees in those fields. Advisors are teaching faculty that might have a degree in English or in math or in history. They help students pick courses. They do certainly do some work with help you gathering information about the resources at colleges and understanding policies. But they really work with students who are continuing in good standing, that know what they want to major in, they just need help selecting courses. Counselors go into a little bit more depth and detail, and we're a little bit broader in what we do. There is some overlap. In terms of career exploration, the kinds of things that we're going to have you looking at, lots of really different factors go into career exploration. Things like values, skills, interests, income, security, aptitude, personality, effort, and time. We know that making a decision about what you want to do with your future is a really big decision, and it's not a one-time thing. It's really a process that takes place over a series of meetings and thoughts and conversations and exploration. So we're going to be introducing you to the beginning steps of career exploration. So one of the very first things I want to talk to you about is the Focus 2, which is an online career assessment. You will be getting instructions from your instructor, FYE teacher, and I believe there's a video recording of actually how to do the Focus 2. You have a link right in your MyCCP account. The Focus 2 is based on a career theory by a guy named John Holland. John Holland was a psychologist in the United States that developed the Holland theory of career choice. And his theory basically said that the way we select our careers has to do with our personality. And if you understand your personality and you choose something that suits your personality, you will be more likely to be happy and compatible with the job that you do. So if you understand your type of personality and then you find a work environment that matches that personality, you're more likely to be successful and happy and fulfilled in your work. So the actual Holland code is made up of these different categories. There's 6 different codes for the Holland type, and these are different kinds of personalities. And what John Holland said is that we all have different personality types. The very first category is the investigative type, and these people are the thinkers. The second type of personality type is the artistic type. They are the creators. The third personality type is the social type. These are the helpers. The fourth type is the enterprising type of person, and these are the persuaders. The fifth type is the conventional type person, and these are the organizers. And the sixth type is the realistic type of person, and these are the doers. And the theory says that we all have a personality type, and we're not necessarily one particular thing. They say that we're all kind of a combination of several of these. So what happens is when you take the Focus 2 assessment, and other career exploration tools that are similar to that use the Holland Code. When you're done answering questions about yourself, it comes up with your personality type. It's pretty interesting. So again, the theory behind it is if you understand your personality type and you find a career and a major that's compatible with your personality, you'll have greater satisfaction, greater success. So let's give you an example of how the Holland Code might work. Let's say you were driving your car and you got a flat tire. And if you were an artistic person, how would you handle that flat tire? If you were a social person, how might you handle it? If you were conventional, you might have a different approach. So again, to give you a little more concrete understanding of how the Holland Code works, let's look at possible reactions that different personality types would have to a flat tire. For example, an artistic person might cry or curse and then search for creative ways to change the tire. I know I'm kind of artistic. That sounds kind of like me. A social person might call up a friend or find a stranger and ask for help. An enterprising person might just pay somebody else to come fix it for them. An investigative type person might try to figure out what caused the flat tire, analyze it, but not necessarily do anything. They just think about it. The realistic person's going to get the tools and they're going to change the tire. The conventional person might get out their AA card out of their very neatly organized glove box and call somebody. So again, different personalities are going to approach things in different ways. And the theory says how we choose our careers is also based on our personality. And if we understand our personality and we use that in conjunction with our exploration, we're more likely to find a good fitting job. So again, this is going to give you a little more information about Holland and the Holland Code. And again, everybody has a code. It's made up of 3 different characteristics. So my code is artistic, social, and enterprising. Okay? Yours might be something different than that. And again, if you read the descriptions, the realistic person tends to be someone who is technically inclined, athletically inclined. They like the outdoors. They prefer to work with their hands. They like to work with tools. They might like to dig in the dirt or break things open, work with motors. They are very often people that are physical, and they like to have physical type of jobs. An investigative person is going to be more of an abstract problem solver. They prefer independent work where they can think and solve problems. They like to do research. They like to investigate things. They often like scientifically oriented kinds of things. The artistic person is someone that's creative. They very often are independent in their thinking and they like to be working on their own. They enjoy artistic expression. They enjoy creating things. They might enjoy the performing arts, the literary arts, music. John Holland includes writing careers in the artistic type of personality. The next block here is the social type person, and these typically are the helpers. So if you're the kind of person that really wants to help people, you get satisfaction out of going out and making a difference in the world. You value, being a positive role model, helping people get from one situation to another. You might like to teach. You might like to do training. You might want to, do something where you're really impacting people and helping people. The enterprising person is very often the leader type person. They enjoy public speaking. They might like working in a business environment. They like to persuade people. They like to manage and organize things in a big way. People that are involved in politics, CEOs, people that are in charge, they're very often the enterprising type person. The conventional person is detail-oriented. They like to be organized. They like to work in a predictable environment, an office setting where they can keep things a certain way. They're good at filing. They're good at keeping things, running smoothly. They work with numbers. They work with data. They're good at following prescriptive plans. So the theory, again, says that we're all a combination, and usually your type is going to be the artistic type and the social and the enterprising. When you come up with your Holland Code, the types that are closest to each other on this hexagon are usually going to be what you're made up of. So for example, I'm an ASI. That is my personality type. So the ones that are near each other are typically the way the code comes out when you take some sort of inventory like the Focus 2. You'll come up with a Holland Code that's 3 codes, and the research says you can use these codes actually to learn more about yourself and to start exploring different types of careers. Okay, so we have a handout that I'm going to be sending to you. I think your teacher will make sure you get it. It is a little worksheet that gives you information about the Holland Code. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to fill it out. It's called the Holland Party Game. Holland Party Game. And it explains the 6 different codes: the realistic, the investigative, the artistic, the social, the enterprising, and conventional. What I'd like you to do is read through it. And then I'd like you to tell me on this piece of paper what you think your top 3 codes are. Okay, there's no right or wrong answer here. This is your impression of yourself. Okay, and what we're going to do when we get to talk, I'm going to be talking with you at some point, and I'm going to ask you your impression. When you understand the explanation of the Holland codes, what do you think your personality type might be? Okay? So again, this is a little blow up here of the different personality types. I'd like you to get the handout of the Holland Party Game, look at it, and give yourself your top 3 codes. So again, I'm an ASI, artistic, social, and investigative. I'd like you to know, to read it over, think about it, and write down on this handout what you think your type is. Okay? All right, so this is part 1 of a 2-part video. Between now and the next time I see you, you guys are actually going to do the focus 2. All right, so I wish you a good week. I hope this made sense to you. If you have questions, you are absolutely welcome to reach out to me, but we're going to have you do the focus 2, which is the online assessment first, and then I'm going to follow up with you and we're going to talk some more. Okay? So take good care.